Alright, this is Pink Omega on Kiriko. You said gold 4 you were at, and then you ended up D-ranked to silver 4. Or I guess you were silver 1 and 1. Anyways, this is at silver 4. Feel like you lost a considerable amount of games out of your control. Okay. Um, so you wanted to know, I guess, if you're underperforming on this. We can see because your friend is been going up in rank, so we'll see what we can do to help you go up there since your friend is playing in diamond. I mean, this is fine. Yeah, just pre-healing just in case anybody takes damage. You don't really know what they have at the moment. Um, your sensitivity looks a little bit high, like it's very shaky. You're all kind of over the place. Not entirely sure. Okay, this. So like I was saying, there, your aim, you might have a little bit high of sensitivity. It seems like your aim is just kind of all over the place sometimes. It might be something that you want to try is lowering your sensitivity about a little bit. Might be helpful. That's really up to you. So your Ryan is here, right? He's being pocketed by your Ana. He goes and he honestly doesn't get that low, right? Like you try to heal through the floor here, right? And then you teleport in Suzu, but he didn't, like, he wasn't really that low, right? Especially while he's being pocketed by your Ana here. He's at like, you know, 4/5, maybe 3/4 of his health. Um, while being pocketed, like he's not in instant need of a Suzu. Suzu is definitely something you want to use more for either cleansing effects or like lower um health. You also make yourself a target while you do this. I mean, obviously it's not entirely too bad because you have your Rhine in front of you. This is good, yeah. Just keeping your Rhine up, and they end up winning. But it's just little stuff like this that, like, I'm not sure what all of this movement is for if you're just checking, but it seems a lot of back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then throwing healing at not sure what, and then so I think just your sensitivity is a wee bit high here. That would be one of my recommendations, definitely too. Okay, so there's a Junkrat up top. I know you had said you definitely you do try to duel this, which was that's not what I'm looking for. So you tried to duel this Junkrat. You said with your DPS. Um, so yeah, it's one of those, like, if you are confident that you can win a 1v1 with the DPS, sure, take a 1v1. But at that range, he can kill you a lot faster because you have to hit 2 headshots back to back, right? Which is hard to do even at close range, especially at like your rank. The Junkrat can just shoot one mine at you and then use one concussion mine as well, and that's all it takes is just one bomb and one concussion mine, and he can just kill you like before you can even shoot 2 kunai at him, and it's a lot easier for them to hit. So like something at this range is, point blank, just shooting somebody once and then hitting an AOE on them is pretty easy. Not something I would recommend taking. And then notice how your McCree gets stuck in a trap here, and if you had your Suzu, instead of coming up and using it to take this bad fight in forcing Suzu, you could have used it to save your McCree who's stuck in the trap. So then you'd be up a player right now. I think you could have been out here a little bit more, right? Like this Junkrat is not even taking an angle on you, right? You can see that his bombs are going towards your Reinhardt. Your Ana is pocketing your Reinhardt right now, and you could be too. You like she's not getting shot, right? She's sitting just right here. This is all you need to do. You could be sitting over here and throwing, right? If the Junkrat turns and starts shooting at you, then yeah, you can, start strafing. But at that range, like, it's a lot easier to just dodge his bombs. But there's no reason to not be healing your Rhine here because they're just I mean, you're not doing anything else at this. You're not shooting at the Junkrat, so you just kind of let your Rhine die here. Just be aware, because I know you have the cart there, but you could have easily just moved to the left. And that would have been... Okay, so another thing, if... Well, actually, never mind. No, that was fine. What I was going to say is, your I forgot that the Junkrat was up here, because I was normally like, if your teammate is behind cover, you know, even if they're low, then that's a good time to just save Suzu. But that was the right call, because they had the Junkrat up there, obviously, so it's good. And yep, get out to your Ana, good. And then yep, just keep backing up, keep backing up, keep backing up, keep backing up. Like, there's no reason. All right, not yeah. Once you see your Reinhardt, then you can do it. Otherwise, like, a general rule of thumb, just keep backing up. Don't even stop. Just keep backing up until like until you're with your tank, right? Because like there's no reason to really, like, you're not going to engage until your tank comes here. And then this is also something where this at a higher rank, their Bastion turns and mows you down because you're just sitting out here. This is bad positioning for all three of you, really. Well, the McCree's the only one that's really probably close enough to just walk backwards, but even then, like, all three of you with this Bastion up, like, you can see your Rhine through this entire time here, right? Like, the Bastion comes up, he's walking towards cover, so you know that he's walking out towards cover, and he's not going to just sit and hold his shield up, right? Because it's going to get broken by the Bastion anyways. So standing out here in the middle of the bridge actually makes you the easiest target here, and this is something where you should just back up on this other side of the bridge, or, you know, like, move over with your Rhine this entire time, and you know, use his shield to get to cover. Either way is fine. It's the wrong one. That was very nice, very nice. That was a good Suzu too. Yeah, I don't know if you meant to go all the way over there. At this point, yeah, like your Genji jumping over here, there's no reason to be jumping in with him, right? He's diving into the middle of their team. Like, you just stay here, right, and heal your Rhine, or take shots at these guys over here, you know, or heal your Cassidy who's half health. All any of those would be fine, but jumping into the middle of the team, I don't know that you actually meant to do that. Your Rhine is critical. Your Rhine's critical. Your Rhine's still critical. And you die, okay. I feel like this was just not the place to go here. Let's see, because here's your Rhine, right? Like, your Rhine, he's nanoed walking into their team, right? This would seem like the place that you want to be, right? Is you have your cart for cover here, you have your Cassidy right here for you. You can heal and pocket your Rhine, since he has nano. Like, he's the big playmaker of this, right? Is your Rhine right here, because your Ana's all the way back here. I mean, you could turn and throw these if you notice, but so she's not able to heal your Rhine. So the only thing that's going to keep your Rhine up is you staying here. And I know that it's tempting to help this Genji, but I mean, this Genji going into Riptire, like, he's gonna die, because the Junkrat is, like, unless the Junkrat's not very good, then he's just going to instantly pop his Riptire and kill the Genji, and you can't help him anyways, which I don't think he does end up. Maybe the Genji gets him first. Yeah, no, he just completely ignores him and goes. He doesn't see him and goes for Yana. All right, but see how you left, and now this is where the most of the fight, right? Like, they do have the Junkrat, and normally that's okay for coming through this, but like, your team won the fight, and this is a dangerous situation to be going into close quarters with a Junkrat that's pocketed. Like, you end up living through this, but it's, you know, your Genji's in a bad position, and then you end up putting yourself out of position, and both of you still die. So I think that's what you meant when you're like, I go with my teammate, right? And then you wouldn't have been in that situation to be just one shot by the Junkrat. You wouldn't have gotten low if you stayed with your Ryan. Yeah, the only little thing here is I'd be throwing you my kunai at this Brigitte, right? Because she's 131, not quite one shotable, but she's you hit a, if both of you, if you land a headshot and your Ana lands one shot, then like she dies, right? Shooting at the barrier, you only do 40 damage per kunai, and that's just not going to do anything to it. So just when you get a chance, like when you get a choice to at any point, shoot squishies. Sorry, I didn't finish that thought. I think it's alright. There's sometimes like if you look at um like your aim, right? Like when he's right on top of you, sure, but then it's you're kind of going all around the other sides, and then he walks away, and you're missing, even though he's right on top of you with a huge hitbox. And I think that's just because you have really high insensitivity that can be hard to control. And at this point, I would be thinking, okay, my Genji keeps on losing these 1v1s. So, like, normally, honestly, with Kiriko, like, you have a main healer like Ana. Like, that's actually really good to be, like, going for the DPS, right? Because she's going to be pocketing the tank. But at this point, I would be recognizing, okay, my Genji is really suicidal. He's not winning these 1v1s, really. Our tank is doing more damage than our Cassidy, so, they would be the ones that you should stick with. Because your Genji is more likely to get you killed than he is to win his DPS duels. That's good, just getting out of there. This is a little bit close. Their Rhine is coming here, right? He hasn't used Shatter yet, so Shatter is definitely on the table. Uh, he's not looking at you, but this is not somewhere you want to be close to him, right? Like, you want to be sticking behind this cart, and you're throwing Suzu at your half health Genji, who's way too. I'll be impressed if you hit this, because that's not a Suzu that you need to throw. He can just walk for a health back. And did you actually hit that Suzu? If so, I'm actually genuinely impressed that you hit this. Oh my gosh, you're actually cracked. All right, that seriously, that was impressive. Like that is not a Suzu I would thrown, but yeah, that was wow. Nice, good finish, good finish. It's just another time where, right, you didn't need to use Suzu there. It could have come into, you know, it's something that could have come in clutch later in this fight. And if it would have ended up needing to. Yeah, so you guys get run on this. So I also want to say, like, again, it's not really your job to be hard pocketing the Rhine, but if there's no one else, I mean, is your Cassidy? I don't don't remember who he. Oh, your Cassidy is over here for some reason. So like, if you're not with your Cassidy right, then you should be pocketing the Rhine with your Ana. And then if you, I mean, if you were playing over here, better where she is, like right back here, the only person you can help in this team is your Ana, right? So you're only healing her, which sure you should be able to like turn and heal her if she needs it. But now you're not helping your Ryan, you're just helping your other support. And then that's why you end up being in position where you have to teleport in, put yourself in a bad position up here to throw Suzu. Well, if you're playing back like here, I mean, if I've seen your Major League Baseball level of pitcher arm that can make it up here, I'm sure you can hit the Reinhardt from here if you can hit the Genji all the way over there. It would just make it so you wouldn't put yourself in a bad position. You could still play around this. And then throw your Suzu and hit the Rhine and then still be able to get the Ana, still have cover and all that. Being back here is just, I think, a little bit too far back for the situation. But I don't think he has won this regardless, so it doesn't really matter in the end. It was probably not a winnable fight. It's pretty standard. It's just good spam damage, right? Good poke damage. I think this one's played pretty well, honestly. I don't think you need to throw Suzu here. That was because I think he used what, maybe half health. I mean, this is good. You go back to help your Cassidy, right? And now your Genji is like you've already just killed two, right? Like their tank is down, their Echo is down, your Genji is still at half health. Your Ana's right here, right? There's no reason to really be teleporting here and throwing Suzu. Like just walk around. It would take 0.2 seconds to just just walk from here to here is all it takes. And even then, you don't need to throw Suzu because he's antied, right? But he's behind cover. Like neither of these people that are alive can hit him. And even if you didn't know that, I mean, like you're just watching the kill feed, right? They have two people. I mean, I thought they had three, but even then, like 2-3 people, they're not going to be killing your team. Except your Cassidy, who just isn't paying attention because he's just. Yeah, he's just not. I wouldn't have been looking there. I don't think that's really a like. Sure, you could have been and thrown Suzu. I wouldn't have been looking up there. There's no reason that he should have, been running into that. Now would be a great time. That would have been honestly a great time to pop Kitsune. Was right here, right? Like here, he just knocked the entire team. Like just ult into them and have him swing away. You're a little bit close, but yeah, I think that would have been like a game change. Well, a fight changing play. I think that might have been enough to turn it around. Not saying necessarily would have, but it definitely had the potential to change the outcome of that fight. You see this break coming from the right? Good. I don't think that one's terrible. That's, yeah. Nice, good shots, good shots. Yeah, that's like you guys win, or at least that's it. You know, you hold. Okay, let's see what you do for offense. Yeah, again, there is nothing you can do. Like your Genji is just not your Genji is like not really someone you can help this game. You put yourself, yeah. So this is like your Cassidy could have used help here, but you know teleporting to him wasn't really gonna do anything. Like you can already see your Ana right here. She turns and looks at him, and like you guys both recognize he's critical. Like she's already scoping in on him, trying to heal him before you do this. So like if he's not gonna like either he dies like if you had Suzu here, sure. But without Suzu, there's no really reason to be like close to him because their Sigma is right here shooting at him. The Junkrat is right here, so this is just putting herself right in their line of sight now, where they can spam fire at you from pretty much everybody. And then you don't take any damage, I don't think, really, in Suzu, but yeah, I mean, this is just kind of a tank cap, to be honest, for that. Like, you guys got, yeah, that really wasn't your fault, though. The Sigma put his shield behind, and your Ryan didn't recognize it. Hopefully he's recognizing it now. Now is actually a time where you might be able to... It's not bad, Suzu. But now... Okay, they just threw a Junkrat trap to your left. Yeah, it's unfortunate you didn't have Suzu there, because I think that was actually pretty, because that was the Cassidy, right? Yeah, that was the Cassidy you got out of the Junkrat trap. I think that was a fine Suzu to have, so that's just kind of unfortunate. Your Ryan should just be putting his shield up here, waiting for that to go out, but it's what silver, like you said, so it's, you know, it's expected for that to happen. At this point, probably just push the payload, like, make it go faster, get as much ground as you can, because you don't have your tank up with you anyways. So you're not really gonna, like, hold here very well. I mean, okay, your Genji... I would not expect your Genji to win this when he's been rolled by the Junkrat, so I mean, it worked out fine, but I wouldn't have my faith in him to be holding up and doing for this, because you've almost died so many times following him that I think it's good to do once, maybe twice, but if that's just the same thing, then it's I wouldn't trust him to do it. But it's good, it ended up working, but I feel like just being payload, I guess they had to move the payload pretty much where you would have been anyways, but it's just dangerous to push and hold extra space without your tank around. I think you recognized there that you were too far up. And again, I think this fight might have been a decent spot to pop Kitsune again. I think it'd still be a decent spot to pop Kitsune before your Ana died. Like, I'm not sure why you're holding it during this one, to be honest. Like, you have a full 5v5, right? You're getting close to the, you're getting close to the point that you need to cap, and then you didn't use it. I like that. It's just it's a good spot to use it. You know, make sure you guys cap the point in a full team fight. When you only have like a minute left anyways. I mean, you're only gonna get one, and you already had it all the way up there. So hopefully you realize like, okay, this might be our last fight, depending on how long it goes. Which, yeah, so you're already down one. It hasn't been used. Like Kitsune will definitely turn fights. So you're also, yeah, you're the only healer here. So if your Ana is not here, then you need to be a little more focused on that. It's about 15 seconds. You could still use Kitsune. There you go. If there's an ult, so. Yeah, it's kind of your team in general for throwing all of their eggs in one basket without being sure that there was a, you know, with Transcendence being there, like at least one person could have saved their ultimate, because I think it was like Nano Blade, uh, Shatter, and your Kitsune. So I think the only thing that wasn't used was High Noon there, and yeah, so that it's unfortunate when you're, you know, like I think Kasune was good regardless, so you at least get the speed to get to the cart, make sure you get there, right? And then you have the extra healing and whatnot to make sure that people don't die, uh, trying to push in even if trans is there. But yeah, going then Nano Blade and Shatter, all of those, it was just a lot that didn't need to be used. But again, it's silver; these things happen. But I think if you used the Kitsune as well, like the fight beforehand, like I had said, where you guys were, it was maintained, they probably either A, you beat them probably, or B, you force out Transcendence, and then the next game, the next round, you know, maybe you guys have your ults, and then they're able to use, you know, Nano Blade or Shatter against not you know, not saying like, oh, like the whole thing's your fault or whatever, but just it's just something that there's, you know, like four people, you know, any of them could have used their ults, any of you could have tracked Transcendence, and no one did, and then everybody just, instead of waiting for it, making sure that it got used, no, nothing was used to really bait it out, and or at least confirming that the Zen is dead before doing all of them, but that didn't happen. So it's just one of those, you know, it's, if nobody's alt tracking in voice or anything, then it's that it's a useful skill to have as well. Is just figuring out things like Shatter is a big one to track. You know, every other fight, making sure everyone knows, hey, they got Shatter. That's a big thing with Kiriko as well. Just knowing where Shatter is and knowing, you know, it's pretty easy to tell when your Rhines are gonna Shatter because they'll come in and just balls to the wall. Like it's pretty obvious they're coming in, and the first thing they're going to do is Shatter. Like the second that the other Rhine's shield drops, or they're just gonna walk through it and do it anyways. And so I found, just, you know, whenever like Rhines are coming up for Shatters, and or you know they have Shatter, which is really every other fight they're gonna have Shatter. Just remember that. Just yeah, just remember that, and then just stand, you know, take more off to the side, like don't get hit with it, and then just throw your Suzu and wake everybody else up right away. And it's, you can kind of bully Rhines with it, but um it's just a good thing to have all tracking. I mean, there's not a ton, like there's nothing you can do against Transcendence aside from like you know, killing the Zen, or if your Ana had her anti-nade up, she could have thrown her, actually her anti into the Transcendence would have also worked, because then she, like, Zen's ult heals, it doesn't make everybody invulnerable, it just heals extremely quickly, so making them anti, it actually negates his ult. So, you know, there was a lot of things that just could have gone there, and that's kind of what makes the game the rank that you're at is. And other ranks have these things too, you know. But it's like you have so many things that could have been done to get this Transcendence, but nobody even seemed to really care that it was there. And I don't think it was your job to bait it honestly, because Kitsune, I mean, I just think you could have used it in the fight beforehand. And the worst thing that happens is they use trans, and then you're able to use the other alts for the next fight. But the best case scenario, you just win the fight. And I think you could have used it the other time when your Rhine shattered too on defense, and that would have been like a really good way to clean up. So overall, I mean, there's the couple of times on Kitsune, sometimes I think you did pretty well with it. Um, Sometimes I think your biggest thing is yeah using Suzu too much, where you're teleporting into bad situations uh to follow people or to throw Suzu even if they're at like half health. Like Suzu is normally for people who are critical, or if they're like they go to half health but they're like taking damage constantly from everybody. It's not like a Rhine who can put his shield up, or Genji who has deflect, right? Like the only one really Cassidy that you really have to worry about with that. Because the other guys have ways of getting out. Although in Silver again, you can't really like count on your teammates to use all their abilities correctly. But it's um and yeah, I mean the sensitivity is up to you. There were some times where you're hitting like really good shots on DPS, and like your Suzu like mechanics. I don't think you really missed any. Even like the one that I thought that there was no way you were gonna hit, like you somehow still hit that. And so like I think that's really good. I think it's really just uh up to you. For I know some people play on high sensitivity. I just think you sometimes might need to get a little more control on it so that you're not going like right left right left right left as much when you're tracking people for healing, because that's the main thing that comes with it, is that you kind of shake your mouse back and forth when you're trying to track people. um yeah, I think that was most of it. Oh, and then yeah, with your which you had mentioned in your Reddit post as well, that there was the like like I just wouldn't keep going with your Genji if he's losing most of the 1v1s. Like I wouldn't count on him to be winning those then if he's lost it already like two or three times. Just yeah, because you end up dying to the Junkrat sometimes, and well, I mean, or coming close to, or just straight up dying, yeah, like from multiple fights. So I would not recommend going after that if you're at a point where you don't think that your DPS can win that 1v1, or that you can help them win a 2v1 even. Um, and then there was also the couple of times where you tried to 1v1 him, which was just you ended up using Suzu and then it ended up screwing you over. So that's just definitely don't be 1v1ing people you aren't very confident that you can win against, I think is the general rule. Because if you're really good at hitting double dinks, like go for it. But you have to be able to be confident in that, because I know I would not be able to double dink a Junkrat before he just insta kills me with his two-shot combo. So hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.